Hi everyone, today we're going to go through one of the, I assume, penultimate upgrades you can do to your Gweik laser or the Tech Polar. For those of you who have the built-in air assist that kind of sits on a bracket on this side, I don't obviously because my machine is one of the first generation ones that have the external air assist coming out the back. But for me, I want to do this mod because I'm using an air pump, not an air compressor, and I want the shortest line possible to the laser head, shortest air line possible to the laser head. So currently there's a pipe running through here, runs across the back of the machine, goes through this drag chain right here, comes all the way around and goes through that drag chain in the front right here, and then hits the laser head. So what I want to do is eliminate this entire run that comes over then this side. I'm going to drill a hole somewhere over here. I'll figure that out later. I'm going to run it straight this way. So I eliminate this entire run here. This will also go for anybody who wants to upgrade their air assist to internal air assist to an external air assist, because it's the same technique to do this. Whether or not you're using a true compressor with a tank or you're using kind of an aquarium bubble blower like me. Yeah, regardless of what kind of air you're feeding or what kind of machine you're feeding air in, going through this way will be what you want to do to upgrade your internal air assist to the machine. So I'm gonna probably have a lot of cuts in this video as I get things ready, but for the most part what you will need is a good run of what is this? The air tube, 6mm outside diameter, 4mm inside diameter. To do this with, I have blue ones. They come in all sorts of different colors, black, clear, whatever. This one I found this one's okay. I feel like there might be more flexible ones out there, but this one will do. I think it's flexible enough to be able to bend through all these drag chains. This one, and then this one. So once again, the plan is, for me, at least on my machine, and those who want to upgrade air assist on your machines, we're going to drill a hole somewhere on this side. I assume we're going to obviously avoid the power supply here, and we're going to follow where this original air assist cable tube is going. So it's coming out this way. So I'm probably going to drill a hole somewhere right here. Now the proper way of doing that is obviously to get some fittings like this thing right here and attach it to the outside of that hole, but I'm probably not going to do that. It's kind of unnecessary, just kind of the best way to do it. So if you want to do it that way, you can too. Fit one of these in to that hole that you'll drill out. I think fitting one of these in will require you to drill obviously a bigger hole to try to fit this thing in. Again, not totally necessary. So I'm personally not going to do it. It's a more scrappy way of doing it without that thing, but I'm going to just leave it at that. Let's work. So again, we're going to run through this way. We're going to come around this drag chain up the top, go through here. We're going to take out this piece here and take out my original Gweik machine had a air assist adjustment knob here that was completely useless. I have no idea why they put that thing in there. It's not like you're going to stop the machine every single time to adjust air assist up or down. So I took that out. There's a coupling in here that I'm going to remove because I'm going to make this all one continuous line through this drag chain here and then all the way over down to the laser head. So we'll see how that goes. So first off is to pull out the current line. So we're going to disconnect it at the laser head, pull out the entire line all the way across. I might have to remove this, not sure yet, but we'll see. All right, get started. So really quick, getting to kind of tearing apart the machine now. So I've removed that little cover where this thing sits, where that the air adjustment knob used to sit. Looked like one of these that used to sit in here between this coupling. So this coupling is something I bought myself to try to couple when I took this out, there's two lines that were split. I used to duct tape it, but that didn't work too well, so I bought a coupling to couple that. So I'm gonna remove all this. I'm going to tear out this entire line on this side, and I'm going to pull out this line on that side, and then go from there. So I also did think about in there, I can't see, get a flashlight here, you can kind of make out the air assist coupling down there. Got myself all oily. But that's the electrical cable. Right under it is the air assist coupling. You can actually unscrew that and then move it to this side if you wanted to, but I am not going to do that. Again, too much work for something that's not really necessary. And the pipe itself, and because I don't want another break in the pipe, if that makes sense. If I had to do a proper coupling like that, I would need to cut the pipe there and then bring it in here. But then if I had a straight run through there, I wouldn't need an extra break in the line. So it'll be one continuous line that goes all the way to the laser head. And that's what I'm trying to aim for. All right, another break in the video until the next process. All right, as you can see here, I took a 17/64 drill bit, poked a little hole in the back. It's a pretty clean hole, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of take the edge off of the sides here. Every machine might be, all the new machines might be different from mine. I don't know, I just did a little bit under this right there so that it would clear this area, so that it would go through here and come kind of snake through here without having to just kind of, I don't know if that makes sense, but this hole kind of goes directly past on the side of the power supply here. Be careful when drilling. You obviously don't want to poke a hole in your coolant pipe, or when the drill goes through, you don't want to accidentally punch the power supply or any of these cables here, because those are obviously important. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of take the edge off of here. You can kind of see, let me get the pipe here, that the pipe fits in nice and loose in here. So that works out perfectly. And I guess overall aesthetically, still looks like the hole belongs there. I don't know. Anyways, I'll be back again. Okay, next step is for me to remove this because I want a clean break from my the old air assist pipe here, because it runs all the way over here to this fitting down there. So I'm gonna just kind of, I'm probably gonna just remove this and kind of tuck this behind there. I don't want to completely take it out, but just a note, now is a good time if you're doing this mod and you haven't taken out your internal fan yet, do that, because you'll have to remove this thing to tuck this. I guess you could just cut it off or whatever, but for me, I'm going to just tuck it in just to keep it around. Not that I'm going to reuse it or anything, but remember, it's just for the basic versions. You have one screw here, two screws right there, two screws right here, and then one screw right here. For those who have the rotary, I think there are two switches here or something. And even the new machines with the internal air assist have the two option for the rotary, so they have the two knobs over here, and that might require a few more unscrewing to do. But in general, this piece is just kind of a one-piece removable thing. If I don't mess up my, be careful of these LED cables here. Anyways, I probably have to be careful. This is relatively sharp metal too. All right, I'm going to take this out until the next cut. All right, this is what it looks like with the cover off. I'm going to just pull this line. Oh, it's kind of stuck here, kind of jammed with all these cables. Just kind of feed it through here, or not. All right, looks like it's kind of stuck between all these cables here. There it goes. This thing is kind of a rubbery line. I don't know what they use, but it's not the same type of material that my new pipe is made out of. Pull it out. It's kind of this stretchy. There you go. So I'm going to kind of lay it in here, kind of secure somehow by tucking it. I guess I could just remove it. I don't know, because it is a push to fit fitting down here. See that blue button there? You just kind of pull it back and then just pull the cable out, or pull the tube out. So maybe that's what I'll do. All right, so now you can see the inside of the machine. This thing is slowly coming apart. And then we'll feed the new line after this one. I'll run through the steps again because I know this video is choppy. All right, BRB. All right, back again. I got tired of trying to slip my fat fingers to press into that space to press the release, so I just duct taped this thing in there. I'm gonna just cover it back up and call it done. All right, that aside now, it should be pretty safe here. Nothing's really contacting or moving in this area. So I just like how I duct taped my original camera cable here too. So there's that. All right, on to the next step. I'm gonna put this cover back on. Actually, we're gonna just snake in the new air pipe first, and then we'll put the cover back on, just in case I gotta do something. I don't think I will, but yeah. So we're gonna snake in that new air assist pipe. All right, be back again. All right, here I am trying to snake the cable through the first drag chain. It's a little bit hard. You have to kind of push this really hard this way as you try to. You can see the head of it is getting kind of caught between these little gaps here, so you kind of have to move it back and forth, try to massage it through as you push this way. I'm kind of using, as I'm pushing, I'm kind of using a little chopstick to kind of press that head in to try to for it to clear this area until it gets caught in the next area. So I've been trying to get it all around, or not get it all around, but clear every single one of these. I don't know what you call these sections, these joints here. These joints are easy to get through because you can actually, pluck these off pretty easily. Use this hand. You can, these come off pretty easily, and then you can kind of just snap them back on. I don't know if that's the case with the Polar, but you can check your connection. There's little snaps on this side and on that side too. So I just try to find a little area, a little gap that's not too thick with cables or pipes, and then run the pipe through that way, so it's at least easier to clear the pipes itself and not only have to deal with the drag chain itself. So I'm just kind of guiding it in. It'll never fit through here because these pipes are too fat. Won't fit through here too because these two pipes are too fat, and so I only have to deal with this what is this, electrical cable. So this area right here seems to be the least obstructed way to go in. But again, as you're working it through, especially when it starts turning up over here, it might start getting caught in these things, so you'll just have to kind of push and massage and push and massage. I assume it's going to be the same case when we come around this way, but these holes are much bigger to get into. So, oh, and I also forgot to mention, I pulled out this section of air pipe too. So we're going to run the blue pipe all the way around here, come through here, all the way up, around, through this little hole, through this little hole, and down to the laser head. And I've already verified that, for those of you who have the original, this little screw thing that connects to the lens, this thing already fits this blue air pipe. I assume the new ones that are made of that plastic material will also. All right, I will report back once I make some headway. Almost there. It's the last rung or last joint here, and then I'll start rounding that corner. All right, be back again. All right, I made it through. That was a lot of little finagling and using a, where is it? Using a tweezer to try to, push that caught head down. You push it down, and then I'm like pushing it this way to try to, push it through. And now it came out the other end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull enough of this so that I have enough to go that way, because I don't want to be dealing with this area getting caught again. So I'm going to pull as much as I can through, and then if I have too much excess when I come out this way, I'm going to cut it on this side, if that makes sense. So I'm going to keep pulling more through because I don't want to get caught in here again, because this part is pretty hard to deal with all these pipes here. So I'm going to pull as much as I can out here, run it through here, over here, down to the laser head, and whatever left over here, I'm going to cut it on this end, and I'm not going to try to, you know, feed this through and then kind of be short here and then try to have to yank it through 2 drag chains. So I'm going to pull more out through here through this 1 drag chain, and then run through here again. I'm going to cut on this end if it's too long. Okay, until the next section of this video, and I can do that. All right, and we're back. So I've got it threaded through here. This one's really easy to get through, obviously, because it's not even that tight. There's only this thing going through, whereas this side is the tightest. Threaded through here. Threaded through here. This is not exactly 6 millimeters. I feel like it's another dumb design of Gweikecloud. It just didn't think about how wide the pipe would be, so it gets kind of constricted right there. It gets flattened out. I wish that wasn't the case. I kind of want to drill it out, but I kind of don't at the same time, because this thing is relatively thick. I don't want to touch it, and I don't want to go through the sides either, because eventually someday I want to be able to cap that cap back on, or make my own custom cap. Yeah, that could be an option. I got to put these things back. These belonged here, remember, when I took it out. I just took it out so there's less friction going in. I'm going to cap those back. Looks like we're almost done here, so I'm going to secure this down here so when the gantry goes back, it doesn't, you know, kind of hit it. Don't know how I'm going to secure it yet. Ideally, I would have ran it underneath these power cables here, but I didn't think of that, so maybe you can think of that when you do yours. All right. All right, ran into a little bit of an issue. You can see that this pipe was not as flexible as I wanted it to be. You can see that it kinked on itself here. Little right angle kink right there. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little bit of this flexi rubber pipe that I originally had, and then shove it on the end of that. I'll snip it right there. So there's like a little barb, like a little, you know, like one of these. This one actually came on the original pipeline, where they bridged the, I forgot where they bridged actually. They bridged a length of pipe with this barb because it was stiffer. Anyways, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna run the flexi pipe through here so that it doesn't kink. All right. All right, voila, I am done. Contrary to my previous statement, I just ran the cable or the air pipe out to the edge here. I'll figure it out later. At least this is pretty mobile as is. I can, you know, take it off, run it through here again, or give that a try again, see if it'll bend those tight corners. But right now this works, because if I scooch it all the way over here, it doesn't hit anything, doesn't get caught on anything. For me, the worry is just that it'll get caught or touch things, but it doesn't. So we're good there. Even if the laser head lowers, this thing is not gonna, yeah, it's not gonna be an issue on that side. If it is, maybe I'll tuck it in a little bit or make it shorter. I don't know. I could probably make it shorter and tuck it in a little bit. Yeah, maybe I will do that. I don't know. Anyways, I guess if I lop off a few, like 1 inch here, this thing will come in closer like that. But anyways, it works as is. I don't think I'll be putting on that cover anytime soon. So I just want to go through why would you want to do this mod, especially, well, for me, let's just say for me, because I'm using a regular air pump, as I mentioned in the start of this video, a regular aquarium bubble blower. I want the shortest line possible to the laser head, so I pretty much got rid of this 2.5 feet run here. So I'm going to locate my air pump on this side, and I'm going to just run it straight through here. And that should cut the distance down a little bit. I don't know if that's going to prove anything, but maybe it will. I don't know. I'll run some tests later to see if it does anything. But with an aquarium air pump in general, you probably won't see any major gains at all over the stock air pump. But any gain is a good gain, I guess. Just a shorter run. Ideally, I think someone mentioned to me that you want a fat pipe, because the aquarium air pumps output a lot of air volume, so and not necessarily pressure. So you want all that air volume going all the way to the laser head and then being reduced right there. But obviously I don't want to poke a big hole in this. Okay, and second reason, most importantly, I guess, for the internal air assist people, for those that own the Polar and the new Gweikecloud machines, you'll have an air assist that sits here. That air assist fan cycles or sucks in exhaust to feed your air assist. And what happens with that? Your lens barrel and your lens gets clogged with whatever ablated material you're cutting, and that eventually damages the lens when the laser heats up all those elements on the inside, and therefore you get all these reports of burned lenses and such. And so if you do an external air assist, obviously air is coming in, fresh air is coming in from the outside of the machine. You're not getting all that junk within the lens assembly here. Plus, you are able to upgrade to a much more powerful air assist, which I personally will probably do in the future. It would be the California Air 8010 8-gallon compressor. That's pretty much really popular on the Ohm Tech forums, as well as other laser users, for being like the smallest, quietest unit you can buy that feeds enough air. Those will feed. Yeah, those ideally you would run those at between 10 to 20 psi, and it would be magic, I guess. People have reported faster cuts, obviously cleaner cuts, because you're just brute force feeding that air through your machine here. But anyways, back to the internal air assist people. That fan eventually will get gunked up because you're sucking all this junk out, sucking in all this junk via the side of the machine into the fan, recirculating back into the lens, and that fan will also get clogged up. Just, if you don't believe me, just go check your AC Infinity fan, open that up and see what's in there. When I opened mine up, it was completely brown on the inside, and I had to wipe everything down. That, I assume, will eventually happen to all the Polar owners and all the internal air assist Gweikecloud owners too. Especially for people like me who tend to cut mostly on this side, this half of the machine. I do small projects for the most part, and so I don't ever utilize the full board at once or cutting area at once. So I cut little things here, switch materials, cut little things here, and so this side of the machine always gets dirtier. So you'll see this side is a lot more brown than this side. There's no brown here. Like, I don't even have to clean this side. This side, however, is all brown here. You see that? It's all, that power plug is all yellow right there. So all my smoke is being generated on this side and exiting the machine this way, if that makes sense. So as it exits the machine this way, if I had the internal air assist, sorry, that dog is really bothering me, our neighbor's dog. Internal air assist fan here, it's sucking in that air before it's getting sucked out of the exhaust. So you'll get those issues of this fan clogging in the near future, even if you switch to a new lens, and even if you switch to a really popular lens that's available on Etsy. Everything will just get gunked up after a while. So I'll be back with a few more conclusions as I clean this area up, and hopefully that dog will stop barking. All right, let's wrap up this video. So just put everything back together. Everything works. I turned it on. Air assist is blowing pretty hard. I don't know if there's any difference from before, but the sound is definitely a little bit different. It is noticeably, like I could feel the pinpoint of that air. But I don't know if that actually made any difference. We'll see when I actually get some time to actually make some cuts. I don't think it'll make any difference, but because these Aquarium air pumps are quite weak. Put everything back in. I had to tape everything back up. I know I haven't really gotten that 3D printed piece that a lot of you guys have. Just kind of taped it up. Works for me. I don't ever use the pass through, so I taped that area a little bit. But yeah, everything is going in. I actually was able to stuff the pipe underneath the cables, so now the cables are just pressing it down, holding it down, and it should pretty much stay that way. Overall, a pretty simple process. It took me about, let's see, it's check out the time here. It's about So it took me roughly around an hour and a half to do this. Yeah, I assume if you have the Polar, it'll take you a little bit less time because you don't have to deal with that pipe running through all the way to this side. You can kind of just unplug your, well, I assume that you can just unplug your current air assist fan, the tube, and then just run a new tube through the back of the machine in and out to your laser head here. And in a previous clip, I also said I was going to reduce this length here to try to tuck this in a little bit more. I was able to tuck it in by tugging on this area. So I pulled more out this way. And then this thing shortened on this side. So that worked out pretty well. What else? So again, for Gweikecloud owners, if you have the original machine like I do here, probably not necessary to upgrade. Just get a new compressor that can output 10 to 20 psi, hook it up to the back and call it done. For me, using with the original machine and using an air pump, which is right here, this air pump here, I wanted the shortest air run because these little aquarium air pumps can't do as well in terms of air pressure, so I need the shortest line possible. And then this modification obviously is more advantageous for you guys who have the internal air assist, because again, the internal air assist fan is built on the inside of the machine. It's not sucking clean air and putting it back into the air assist in the laser head. It's actually sucking in exhaust air, which will not only, and so it's sucking in exhaust air, feeding the air assist, which means since it's going through the lens, it'll gum up the lens nozzle. And eventually it'll gum up itself too in the future. So to reduce those problems, you would put that air assist on the outside of the machine. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. If I've missed anything, feel free to listen in the comments. If I said something wrong, feel free to discuss in the comments also. I'm not perfect, and all this is unscripted, so I'm just winging it. Just kind of doing these mods off the top of my head. I didn't even plan these mods at all. I just happened to have the air pipe. I just happened to have, yeah, just the air pipe, and I guess that's all I had. And yeah, just the air pipe. Anyways, everything I've used will be listed in the description below, so check those things out. Subscribe, like, share. Hopefully my videos on upgrading this machine and general operation of this machine has been helpful to many of you. Again, I don't work for this company. I don't work for OMTech. I don't work for Gweikecloud. I'm just trying to get the most out of my money by doing these cheap little upgrades. And it's funny, in a previous video I made, someone mentioned, "You're just hacking up your machine." Well, I guess I am. Today I am. So here it is again. It's feeding directly in that hole. Yeah, anyways, like, subscribe, share, help get the word out of my channel, and hopefully I'll do more videos like this. But I think this was the biggest upgrade I've been waiting to do for a long time now. If I think of any more upgrades, I'll obviously do it. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, comment below if I missed something or I said something wrong. Until next time, bye bye.